Great to have you with us. And Katie, San Antonio FC hadn't been home in a month, hadn't won at Toyota Field in 2 months. Took care of that with an impressive victory against New Mexico United last Saturday night.
Right, let's take a look back at it here. We have Zuhair doing a great job on his debut. The composure there, taking the space, finishing in that lower right 90. And I mean, in true SAFC recruit fashion, just falling in suit right there.
First professional goal for the 19-year-old Zuhair, and then Jorge Hernandez back in the starting 11. Cheeky to earn the foul and the free kick. Fabian Garcia then would take care of the rest.
Beautiful arch on that pass. Nice spin. You got Mitch giving New Mexico some problems, and Fabian there just to pick up right after it. Good work there to finish.
Second goal of the season for Fabian Garcia. A 2-1 win for San Antonio FC over New Mexico United. Just to show the difference in attack. San Antonio had scored just twice in their previous 3 home matches, but much better in the final third product on Saturday night.
Right, they had quite a few opportunities to score, and they took advantage of it, and so all that matters is that they're improving as games go by.
So to the table we go in the Western Conference. San Antonio with the win jumps to 3rd in the table right now, level in points with El Paso at 22.
Yeah, agreed. That was rough for me.
The calendar flips to June in USL Championship, and Week 13 upon us in a battle of 2 of the top clubs of the Western Conference. San Antonio FC meets San Diego Loyal here from Toyota Field on Bally Sports. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. We welcome you upstairs to the broadcast booth with Katie Goodman. I'm Dan Weiss. Great to have you with us. Katie, San Antonio FC hadn't been home in a month, hadn't won here at Toyota Field in 2 months. Took care of that with an impressive performance last Saturday against New Mexico.
It was a win that I think all of San Antonio was looking forward to, especially with this debut appearance there from Zuhair, getting his first ever professional goal of his career. And look at the composure, just taking his time, taking his space, and then finishing there in that opposite lower 90.
19-year-old homegrown product from Montreal gets the scoring started later in the half. Jorge Hernandez, cheeky move to earn the foul, takes the set piece, and then Fabian Garcia takes care of the rest.
Just have a look at this perfect arc there on the ball. You got Mitch giving New Mexico some trouble, and Fabian there just to pick up right after it.
Second goal for Fabian Garcia this season. San Antonio knocks off their nemesis from New Mexico 2-1. And with that, San Antonio FC jumps now into the top 3 in the Western Conference table, Katie. 22 points, sitting 6 wins. And right behind them, tonight's opponent, San Diego Loyal, who's coming off a 2-0 loss against Oakland Roots last Saturday.
Still early in the season, but these games are so important. You want to win every game possible, obviously, to give you that cushion as, playoffs get nearby. That's when teams really start bringing in all the intensity in. And so, yeah, it's going to be an interesting game tonight.
Especially being in the top 4 and want to secure home field advantage going forward into the playoffs. Long way to go before we get to that. For San Antonio, Justin Dillon returned to the lineup in Detroit City. Returned to the starting 11 last Saturday night against New Mexico, and you see what he's meant for this club over his tenure here in San Antonio.
Right, 13 goals, 13 assists over his career. Not a goal yet this season, but he's such a play creator, such a vital piece of the puzzle here for San Antonio.
Ronaldo Damas was maybe the offseason acquisition of the USL, coming over from Sweden after being the 21 MVP in the final for Orange County. He is fantastic in space.
Absolutely great. Speedy. He's got that vertical run. You can expect him to try to get in behind the back line, so SAFC is going to have to keep their focus sharp.
Should be a good one. This is a bit of a burgeoning rivalry between these two clubs. Only the 3rd time they've met in the regular season, but they've already met in the playoffs. That was 2 years ago here at Toyota Field. We'll see what happens tonight. San Antonio, San Diego, all the action. Starting 11 and kick when we return here on Bally Sports.
Tonight's honorary coach captain, Jason Wilson.
San Antonio FC Soccer on Bally Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Go to buyatoyota.com or visit your local Toyota dealer today. For Saturday in June here from Toyota Field, San Antonio FC playing the middle game of a 3-game homestand as they welcome in San Diego Loyal. A look at the starting 11s for both sides tonight. Duran Ferry in net is 16 years of age. He will make his 2nd consecutive start and the 4th of his young pro career for San Diego Loyal. For San Antonio FC, they will feature the same 11 that started last Saturday night, and why not? They were fantastic against New Mexico United. Probably should have won that game by multiple goals, missed some chances late in the match. Katie, a look at your keys to tonight for both these clubs as they enter week 13 of their respective seasons.
Well, one thing we know is that San Diego Loyal is quite the expansive team. So for SAFC, it's going to be really aggressive on the press there. You have to win the ball. When you do, get it forward as quickly as possible, taking advantage of that expansion. But on the flip side, that expansion really works to San Diego's advantage. So continue spreading the field for them and look for that switch of the ball. Try to find the weak side behind SAFC.
Thomas Snyder's our center referee. Chris Canales, Samuel Zamora, the assistants. Edgar Garcia is the fourth official, and we are underway. With Katie Goodman and our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us here this evening on Valley Sports. San Antonio FC wearing their home blacks with the pinstripe white black shorts, and they go right on the attack early with Justin Dillon, edge of the box. And the flag is up. And the ball back to Duran Ferry. San Diego Loyal in their away orange kits tonight with the navy blue shorts. Temperature at kickoff tonight, 85 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. A bit of a light breeze coming out of the east, 4 miles an hour, but should be ideal conditions for tonight. Rain in the vicinity, but we're expected to be mostly dry for the duration of this match tonight.
Anytime you can get a light breeze here in San Antonio, that's a huge win. Something you can only find probably early summer.
I was going to say anytime you can play a match below 90 degrees after June in San Antonio is a win.
Huge win.
There's Nick Moon on the right side. The overlapping run here coming in, the service into the box, and Connor Maloney takes a heavy hit across the field, and I believe that was Blake Bodley who got him over there on the opposite side.
Take a look back at that here. Both going up for the ball, and yeah, that was not a very clean play there from Bodley pushing from behind.
San Diego Loyal comes into tonight, as you saw at the top, with a record of 6 wins, 4 defeats, 2 draws. They are 2 wins, 2 defeats, and 2 draws, and they're 6 matches away from home at this point of the season. Another vertical ball over the top. This time Dillon stays onside. Jorge Hernandez in the box. Kept to the outside there. San Antonio FC regrouping. Mitchell Tainer drives one in, headed, and just like that, in the opening minutes, Tani Oluwaseyi's got his first goal at Toyota Field, and San Antonio FC is up 1.
My goodness, what a way to start things off. Not so great there for Duran Ferry, young guy getting woken up pretty early here, but great service in from Mitch Tainer. What a ball, and way to get on the end of it there. Oluwaseyi.
Tani Oluwaseyi's got his team-leading 5th goal of the season in just his 5th match as a member of San Antonio FC. Mitchell Tainer picks up the assist on the service. Oluwaseyi scored 20 goals in his collegiate career playing at St. John's, 49 games with the Red Storm, and he has been a storm unlike any other we've seen here in San Antonio over the last couple of years with the start he's had.
He has fallen right into the lineup with ease. I mean, it's almost like there wasn't even an adjustment period, and that first game of his made waves league-wide. I think he's one of those names that every single team has circled there on the sheet, knowing, hey, he's a tricky one, but he's so good, it's really hard to keep him at bay.
It's the 7th time in 13 matches this season that San Antonio FC has scored the opening goal. They've won the previous 6, and you just think of some of the long-term numbers. This going back to 2021, SAFC is 45-0-7 in their last 52 games with the first goal of the game. Unbeaten in their last 52 matches with the first goal.
One heck of a daunting statistic if you are the other team. I mean, you can't help but know that that might get in their heads. You know, it's so hard to come back from something like that when you know the odds are against you. And
especially the way that SAFC gets out on their front foot. That is now their 5th goal scored in the opening quarter hour this season as they earn the set piece here on the foul. And talked about San Diego Loyal losing 2-0 at Oakland Roots last Saturday night. They wrap up a 3-match road trip tonight. 3rd ever visit to Toyota Field. Their first was in the 2021 playoffs. They lost 2-0 here, and then last season losing 1-0 on the 10th of September. Got Rita Zuhir and Jorge Hernandez both over the ball. So the opening minutes of this match.
Great position to be in, especially so shortly after a goal. Another opportunity here.
Thomas Snyder, a center referee, has them lined up at the top of the 18-yard box. It will either be the left foot of Hernandez or the right foot of Zuhir. It's Zuhir, gives it a go, and Zuhir from distance! How about this start for San Antonio FC? 5 minutes in, they're up 2 goals.
The crowd is electric. My goodness. And you can't help but wonder, is this going to be a repeat of the Battery game? I hate to give a commentator's curse, but I mean, they're doing some great things early on. Let's take a look at this here. All Zuhair, perfect pocket there. Just caught the keep, little flat-footed. But again, you never know where they're going to go with those.
Second goal in as many matches for Rida Zuhair, scoring in the 5th minute. And we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Duran Ferri is 16 years of age. He is the first ever player to come through the San Diego Loyal Academy. As you take a look at the youngest goal scorers, Rida Zuhair last Saturday becoming the 4th youngest in SAFC history at 19 years and 185 days. Speaking again of young players with Duran Ferri, 16 years of age, the first player to ever come through the San Diego Loyal Academy and earn a first-team contract, as Oluwaseyi plays into the box and Jorge Hernandez. He was right there for perhaps a 3rd goal in the first 7 minutes if he doesn't lose his footing. Ferri has been good in the net, but it's only his 4th career start. Koke Vegas is the starting keeper, the normal starting keeper for San Diego, as you look at the 16-year-old, and he's now missed the last 2 weeks with an undisclosed injury, and Nate Miller's not going to be particularly thrilled with the start of his club here right now in the opening minutes of this one. You know what you're going to get playing San Antonio, particularly in the first quarter hour at home, but again, this club has put themselves in a very good position.
Right, it's a great amount of cushion here, and San Antonio is not slowing down, as you'd mentioned. That would have been a 3rd goal had he not slipped. The net was wide open, so you can't really put all the blame here on this young keeper. You've got to have your defense tucked in tight. You know, I would even say bring some guys back on defense, knowing what you know now, considering the score. But let's see how they respond, and this is a great lesson for this young keep.
The only thing that right now San Diego has going for them is time. 83 minutes of time to try to figure something out here in this match, down 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. What a start for San Antonio FC.
It's a great effort there. Great work from Jorge Hernandez. And, you know, they do have time on their side, and typically I would say, hey, 2-0 is the worst lead in soccer because you start to get comfortable, but I mean, this is the whole vibe, I think, already so early on, is it's feeling relentless.
The goal by Zuhair is the 6th one scored on the set piece by San Antonio FC this season, and that makes them a little bit more dangerous than some of the other clubs in USL, because you look at where teams get their goals, a lot of them come inside the box, but San Antonio FC can beat you in a variety of different fashions.
That they can. I mean, just the combination of plays as they move into the box. They can shoot from outside the 18. They can take those set pieces, really and truly dangerous all the way around.
Nate Miller's in his first season as head coach. He was the associate head coach for the first 3 seasons of this organization under former national team standout Landon Donovan. Donovan moving on to a front office role and leaving the coaching duties now to Miller. Miller has got this Loyal club out to a solid start. 5th right now on the table, level with Oakland, sitting on 20 points.
Definitely has the odds against him, but again, like you said, time. So only time can tell, and he has also an entire season ahead of him as well. Lots of time to recruit and just get the lineup going where you need it to be.
The offside flag up on Dylan. 2nd time here, making the diagonal run.
Landon Donovan also recently inducted to the Soccer Hall of Fame, which surprisingly, I can't believe it took that long, but he got in there in the end regardless, and that's all that matters, I guess.
Really one of the original stars of the national team program. Go back to the standout days of when soccer in this country really started to take a turn, and that probably would begin with the '94 World Cup and the likes of Alexi Lalas and those who were into our hearts. And then as we moved forward along, so many players that have come through the national team program and hopefully set up for success here as they've got some bright young pieces do the national program. seem to be looking for maybe the right guy to lead them.
Right, and you know, you got to hand it to our national teams, both men's and women. I think that's what really puts soccer on the map here in the United States.
Yeah, I would attest the women have certainly done their fair share of that.
Oh yeah, definitely pulled their weight in the matter. And I'm excited. Women's World Cup's coming up this summer.
Yeah, this summer, exciting times. Justin Dillon fouled. Set piece coming up here for San Antonio FC.
Very angry. Lots of words to share. Understandably so. Wasn't exactly a clean takedown.
Grant Stoneman. Word from Thomas Snyder. Justin Dillon. A single assist to begin this season in his 4 appearances. Showed you his numbers at the top of the telecast. 13 goals, 13 assists in 56 career matches with San Antonio FC. He has been one of the centerpieces of this club's turnaround over the past 4 seasons.
Battled a bit of an injury early on in season and has thankfully overcome that, and has been back in the lineup past couple of games and sorely missed, as you can see. Just moved right back into that starting lineup.
Makes the run again off the free kick. This time well read by San Diego, and a foul will be whistled here. We'll go on Oluwaseyi.
Not too sure about that. Looked a little
given
late.
a yellow.
Oh. Might need to see that one
in
back.
the 12th minute.
Might need to see that one back. I didn't think that was too bad, but maybe my eyes deceived me.
I'm with you. I
don't know if that justifies a yellow, and I think the ref is going to get it from the crowd here tonight. But they always do, so can't win if you're the ref.
Well played by Lamar Batista. Dillon's offside again. Let it run for Farid. This is the middle match for San Antonio FC on a 3-match homestand. Took care of New Mexico United 2-1 last Saturday night. And we'll see El Paso Locomotive next Saturday night to wind down this homestand. El Paso, winners of 5 consecutive matches as they come into week 13. The first Copa Tejas match of the season for San Antonio FC as well. Winners of the 2022 Copa Tejas Shield, with every other shield that they won in 2022.
Right, I mean, so many shields you can't even keep track anymore. But I think the biggest moment was that win over Austin, and the rest kind of took care of itself.
So San Diego trying to find their way into this match, approaching the conclusion of the opening quarter hour. Teni Oluwaseyi's 5th goal in the 3rd minute, followed 2 minutes later. Rita Zuhair's 2nd in as many Saturdays, off a set piece, just outside the box. Now this is Nick Moon, 27-year-old, 2nd season with San Diego. Like New Mexico, Katie, this club has a lot of returnees from last year. 13 players, and also 7 part of the original club back in 2020.
Right, a newer club, so understandable, but even still, it's hard for a lot of players to stay put for that period of time, and they seem dedicated. They made a great run in 2021 and in 2022, but I mean, they've had a kind of an up and down season so far, and I feel like the San Diego I'm seeing here feels a little different than that team that made it to the championship. But again, it's early. They're still working things out and finding their rhythm and flow, and who knows?
As Nate Miller looks on, the new feature up top, former San Antonio FC striker and Elliot Collier, New Zealand native Collier, who appeared in 22 matches a year ago with SAFC, scoring 4 goals. He's got 1 in the book so far this season. Some very good pieces on their bench tonight, which might make more of a quicker appearance than perhaps initially thought, depending how this match continues along here in the first half. But we mentioned Ronaldo Damas at the top of the telecast. Also, Tumimo Shaban, who is their all-time leading goal scorer with 19 goals in his 90 appearances in San Diego. And Adrian Perez, who came over from DC United of Major League Soccer as well. So don't sleep on San Diego. They come in tonight tied for third goals in USL Championship, 18. Have now given up 17 after the 2 allowed here in the opening minutes.
Right. Adding in new players up top in the strike could be the shock of energy that this team needs. And I know Coach Marcina has had his eye on both Evan Conway and Ronaldo Damas. Damas has yet to step on the pitch, so, and when he does, I know he's going to cause some problems.
Another set piece here for SAFC. Again, Jorge Hernandez. Zuhair clips the ball in. Oh, Fareed, can he hang it? It comes off. There's Mitchell Taylor to put it back in. Off the woodwork to Taylor. Taylor makes it 3-0, 16 minutes into the match.
I am loving that celebration. Look at that. And that's just the way SAFC works. They're like a swarm there in the box. Just because a shot is fired doesn't mean you can relax at any moment. Let's look back at this. Again, fantastic service in from Zuhair. Great to get on the end of it as Oluwaseyi, but Mitch finishes the job.
And it looks like there was a collision right there between Duran Ferri and Elliot Collier, and I think Collier may still be down after the fact. As Mitchell Taylor pushes the SAFC lead to 3 in the opening minutes. This Collier's in need of some extra attention there after the collision with his keeper Duran Ferri. A magical start for San Antonio and a nightmare for San Diego.
It's unfortunate there for Collier and Ferri, that collision, and you know, I think that happens, I think at times because of the trust that you have in your keeper. Sometimes you run through it even though they've called it, or who knows, you know, there's so much coming at you in those moments that those collisions, they're bound to occur. But yeah, San Diego has some talking to do at the half, no doubt.
Mitchell Taylor, a goal and an assist 16 minutes in, gives him now 7 goals in 67 career matches with San Antonio FC. His 14th career goal in USL Championship play was tonight his 187th match in the championship. A time spent, of course, with Sacramento Republic as Collier comes his way back to the line.
In that last matchup with the Battery, they broke a record, 4 goals in one half. Might meet that expectation once again here. Again, you got to feel for Ferri because he's a young guy, and you know, there's just a lot working against him here in this moment.
San Diego native, was part of the U.S. national program, the under-17s. Primarily has been the backup keeper. We don't really understand, or we don't really know what the actual injury is to Koke Vegas, but didn't make the start last Saturday in Oakland and did not make the trip here tonight. You see Nate Miller yelling that he's good to go. Collier is. And we perhaps have another caution that was handed out there. Oh, unless Tani Oluwaseyi is being given a second yellow and a red. So it wasn't Miller saying he's good to go. It was Miller saying he's got to go, in saying that Oluwaseyi is getting a second yellow and a red. And Oluwaseyi has been sent off 20 minutes into the match.
What on earth happened? My goodness. I mean, they've got a great 3-0 cushion, but playing a man down, that's the exact luck that San Diego needed right now, and clearly taking the opportunity to talk it through a bit here.
And it was not called by the center referee. It was obviously called by the 4th official. That's Edgar Garcia down on the sideline. And that's where the caution came from. It did not come from center referee Thomas Snyder. It was the fourth official, as you saw all the SAFC players come directly over to the fourth official. So San Antonio FC has a 3-0 lead, but they're going to have to play 70 minutes a man down, as Oluwaseyi is going to get a more anticipated early shower than he, I'm sure, thought.
And that's exactly why you got to mind your P's and Q's, even if you are up 3-0 in a game first couple minutes in. I mean, they've got so much time now to defend themselves with the man down.
Connor Maloney talking to the fourth official. Again, we don't know what precipitated the second yellow for Oluwaseyi, who picked up a yellow in the 12th minute. Marcina clearly not pleased.
I mean, my jaw's on the floor because I'm still trying to make sense of what happened. It must have been something verbal, maybe some crap talking. That happens, but refs seem to be card happy, so be wise to mind, for everyone to mind their P's and Q's.
Usually if it's a fourth official making the call, then it probably comes into the category of something that Oluwaseyi must have said that was caught by the fourth official. Goes and he tells the center referee, and well, that then would lead to a card, and in that case then a second yellow and a red. That's a heavy challenge from Nick Moon, and Moon looks like he'll go into the books here with a yellow, perhaps.
Well, at least the ref is balanced in his approach, right?
Moon into the books here in the 22nd minute. Again, this all coming after San Antonio FC has been pretty much unstoppable and unfazed through the first 20 minutes of this match. Up 3-0 on San Diego here, but now playing a man down for the final 70 minutes after Tani Oluwaseyi is sent off with a second yellow and a red. That coming just before the 20-minute mark. It was Oluwaseyi who got the scoring started 3 minutes into this match.
I mean, at least he didn't leave the pitch without doing some damage there, right? That's the one probably silver lining he can take away from this. But not only is he missing a ton of minutes in this game, he's going to have to miss the next.
Unless they can find a way to get that red card rescinded before next Saturday against El Paso. But bringing us back to the present here, yeah, it's 3-0 right now. But again, like we said before, the one thing San Diego has going for them is time. Almost 70 minutes remaining in this match, and now they're playing up a man here for this next 70 minutes as well, too.
And it's just that little bit of hope that they really need in this moment, because things were looking pretty bleak for them. And, you know, we have Koke, who is used to playing through the back, almost making it like a 4 in the back. And you can see here that Faria is trying to do the same. He's all the way out of his box. He's playing like it's a flat back 4, trying to add another guy almost into the pitch. But this is exactly where SAFC can exploit that if they're not careful.
So we're being told officially that the second yellow was for dissent, and it was called as pointed a lack of respect to the bench, a taunt essentially is what dissent would mean in layman's terms. Take a look at the bottom of your screen. Oluwaseyi comes over, and there he is, kind of just pointing off towards the bench.
And then you have Coach Nate Miller trying to call him out. Must have been something pretty offensive.
Yeah, he went right to the fourth official. So again, it was the fourth official then who went back to Thomas Snyder, dissent the official word, the second yellow, and sent off is Tani Oluwaseyi. Shannon Gomez. Get a foul whistled here as Zuhair goes down. Foul on Colin Martin Another set piece for SAFC.
You gotta hand it to the ref. I will say he is at least calling it both ways, and you know, a little bit more of a challenge here for San Antonio. Things are maybe pretty congested there for them, but despite being a man down, still in a great scoring position.
And it's Dylan. Great save for Reed. And off of Fabian Garcia. Would have counted anyway. San Antonio FC was off to the races, but
can you imagine
turns
how,
itself for naught.
Can you imagine how mad he would have been had that ball gone into the net? Ref just hadn't blown the whistle to give it the go.
Well, you can see he's still spraying the magic stuff there on the field as SAFC was going. It was
I admire the effort.
To be had from that.
I admire the effort. And great save there by Farid, nonetheless.
I tell you what, that might just get his confidence going a little bit, even if it matters for nothing in terms of what the box score says at the end of the night. Hernandez clips one. Taylor's direction to the back post and headed out, and the corner conceded to SAFC here in the first corner of the match.
Great ball in. I half expected Taylor to get on the end of that, but San Diego's defense said no, getting quite a bit of trouble. Let's see what happens here on this corner.
Hernandez, a footed in swinger here from the far stick.
Lots of angry fans.
Very deliberate is SAFC here on this corner. And is to Zuhair. And set up beautifully for Abu. Top of the box, low strike. Come wide of Duran Farid.
Loving the combination there, just getting out of that tight corner, tricky spot. Jorge Hernandez really next level on his services.
Quickly, Simba concedes, though. It's collided with Batista. This is Dylan, but again, the flag is up. As Dylan slipped back behind the back line. Every time San Antonio FC has an opportunity on the counter, they're not wasting any time, and they're forcing the assistant to throw the flag up on Justin Dylan, basically.
Yeah, and he's just always a step or two or half step off. And but it's only a matter of time for him. I'm feeling it, you know. He's been in the mix quite a bit. He's had a couple of chances and at least stirring things up.
I think if you're San Diego and you're having thoughts of trying to crawl your way back into this match, likely is probably going to require at least a goal here before halftime.
That's one way to put the wind in the sails, no doubt. But even being a man down, there's San Antonio still dominantly in their half of the field.
Martin. Simba will drive it forward. Guido. Met by Batista and goes to ground. San Antonio FC on the counter. Shannon Gomez. On Moon. Gomez, as Farid comes over to that near side post to grab it.
It's a good idea there. Some fancy footwork from Shannon Gomez. Usually one of those guys who's quick to pass it off, but I like what he was doing there, getting it to the corner and trying to cross it in.
That's Evan Conway over there. First time we've mentioned Conway. He's their leading goal scorer with 4 goals on the season. 25-year-old from Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin, in his second year with San Diego Loyal.
He's one of those guys that tends to pull out the center backs. He's just got to pay a lot of attention. You have to have focused communication because that's how they got him last time, just spreading that back line.
Bad giveaway from Nick Moon that time. Dylan, 1 against 5. It's slowed up. And can't earn a free kick there that time. Literally 1 against 5, Justin Dillon.
He's taken on almost half the team there, but surprised he didn't get a call on that one. Did look like a bit of a trip.
Simba will keep this one moving. Joe Corona. San Diego raised. Throw coming up here for San Diego. Here's Justin Dillon. Count the orange shirts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 5th one right there coming into your picture in Jackson Simba.
Right, and I can see how that wasn't a foul now. He unfortunately tripped over the defender there, but wasn't tripped by the defender. There's a little bit of a difference.
Well, if you can earn a foul 1 against 5, you're doing more than something right. Santa Margarita, California native Justin Dillon will celebrate his 28th birthday this week on Tuesday. So an early happy birthday to Justin.
It's always good to be playing soccer another year into your career. We all know the time is ticking for these athletes, and it's all about longevity, right?
San Antonio FC in no hurry at all, and there are plenty of mind games at work now between both these clubs, right?
That's the name of the game.
I don't think SAFC particularly happy with Nate Miller, perhaps calling out Lawashei. San Antonio FC is going to play the mind games back the other way.
It's a good switch of the field there. I think if San Diego can do more of that, they have a better chance at progressing up the field. Right now, they're really patient building out of the back, which is great, but to get in behind SAFC, it's going to have to be a little bit quicker of a transition.
Kyle Adams searching out Conway, and overlapping run. Blake Bodley, and they cannot connect. And again, it's 3-0 SAFC, but San Diego playing a man up here. And again, Loyal have some pretty intriguing pieces on their bench, including Ronaldo Damas. I'm sure will come on prior to the second half whistle.
Yeah, sitting on some key pieces there on the bench. But, I mean, they're doing pretty good here moving forward. Great drive.
Nick Moon. Tackle there for Shannon Gomez, directs the ball out. Moon, who's the target on his back for his yellow earlier against Lamar Batista. Keep this one in play. They aren't saying moon here in San Antonio. They are booing him.
Don't get it twisted. Austin FC, their keeper's last name is Stuver, and so everyone goes Stu. And funny story, his mom said, "Why is everyone booing you?" And I said, "No, they're saying Stu."
Bodley can't get the return ball back. San Antonio on the counter. Hernandez. Field. Stoneman back to Ferree. Second keeper, by the way, the backup keeper is Alan Solorio, who signed to a 25-day contract for San Diego in the absence of Coque Vegas. And his career playing with LA Galaxy too. After starring in the Cal State system, collegiate soccer. Conway hauling that forward. Here's Collier. Collier can be dangerous in these spaces. Well defended there by Fabian Garcia. Bodily stepping forward, but it's Mitchell Tainer able to work back to Garcia. It's a giveaway with Adams stepping up here. And converging on it is Guido, comes away with the ball, but he immediately concedes. Out of the pack, drawing the foul, there's Jorge Hernandez.
Gotta love how Jorge Hernandez just covers so many pockets of the field there in the center of the pitch, and even getting in down and dirty and in the mix, keeping that turnover from, in fact, being a turnover. It's just good work and great hustle from him.
Hernandez making his second consecutive start for the first time as a member of SAFC. It's his 5th match since joining the club. 22-year-old, born in Mexico and grew up in Riverside, California. Starred with Galaxy 2 for many years in USL Championship.
Between Hernandez and Zuhir there in the middle of the pitch, I mean, they just really cause some problems and really play some extremely beautiful soccer.
Yeah, it's the first time, and more so by the ability to do so rather than having his hand forced to injuries, that Alan Marcina was able to roll out the exact same starting 11 for a second consecutive week. It's paid off handsomely. That might be an understatement.
There's something to be said when you can keep that same 11 coming back, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Dylan will earn a corner. Good news tonight for San Antonio FC is that PC is available for selection. He's on the bench for the first time since getting injured back in April in Louisville City. PC has appeared in just 4 matches this season. He is on the bench tonight for SAFC, and see how the game shakes out in the second half. Could get some minutes here.
Probably seen him just start to inch up in minutes as time goes by, maybe a few towards the end of the game. But with a game like this that's so chippy, you also want to be careful that you don't get re-injured the second you go back in.
We saw the SAFC captain over there with the rest of the substitutes. Collier's down for a second time here inside the box. Collier ran into his keeper Ferree on proved to be the 3rd goal of the match for San Antonio for Mitchell Tainer. Needed some attention.
Maybe a second round of the magic spray will do the trick, but not looking good there for him.
Take a look at the first 3 goals tonight. The first 2 came 5 minutes in. If you were late to your seats, you missed Oluwaseyi and Rita Zuhir. Gave SAFC a 2-0 lead, and then Ferree out of position. Mitchell Tainer off the woodwork puts it back in, and then immediately after that goal, Tani Oluwaseyi was given a second yellow for dissent officially, or taunting the bench. He was sent off in the 20th minute, and so SAFC has been playing with 10 men for the last quarter hour plus. As Collier's back to his feet. Lead is 3 right now for the home side. They make it back-to-back wins here at home after going 2 months without a victory here at Toyota Field.
Well, one thing's for sure, there's no limit in entertainment when you come to an SAFC game. Anything can happen.
Played the advantage there and wave off here. An injured Loyal player in the midfield is allowed to ride out off of Gomez. Yellow. It's going to be on Zuhir. 39th minute. Rita Zuhir into the books for the first time this season. San Antonio FC came into tonight. They were second in USL in fouls conceded at 192, but tied for 12th in yellows, which is an area that, if you know, want to be picky about some things if you're an opponent of SAFC, is that they've been accustomed to racking up the yellows the last few seasons. They've been the top half of USL in that category for the last 3 years, but they have not accumulated as many cautions this year as they have in years past, Katie.
Right, but this game feels like they're starting to get a little bit closer to that number maybe. It's so hard when you're in a match like this where the ref is card happy, because you want to keep applying that high pressure, win those 50-50s, and keep the aggression high. But once the ref starts dishing them out, you can't help but have to back off.
It's Collier inside, making the run, and well defended out by Connor Maloney. There's one thing about playing with a high line. There's one thing about putting your keeper all the way out to the edge of the center circle, and that's where Dylan Ferree is right now, and where he was on that entire possession for San Diego Loyal.
Right, and I think he's trying to fill the shoes there of Koke Vegas. You know, like I said, stepping in like he's in the back four, and Dylan had him running and moving, but I'm telling you, one missed touch, and it's not going to be so great there for him.
San Diego plays one of the higher lines in the Western Conference in USL, and SAFC was looking to test that early with all the vertical runs by Justin Dillon. Several of them ended up being in an offside position, but they knew exactly how San Diego wanted to play, and Loyal's going to have the ball a lot here over the next 50 minutes of this match. And it's just a question of whether or not they can break through what is the #2 defense in USL Championship.
Well, when you have tackles like that coming from Connor Maloney, just makes things difficult. You know, he's definitely a winger, but falls right back into suit as almost like he's an outside back half the time. And he's a brick house, pretty hard to get through.
Adams. The clearance for Mitchell Tainer sends Simba back to play. Colin Martin and Kyle Adams. Stoneman out of the back with Simba, and again pushing forward. Continuing to try to work on the left side here now. Bodily. Service into the box, and another clearance out. Now San Diego finally sensing that they can be on the attack and in this position for pretty much the duration of the match if they want.
Right, and I mean, they're doing a great job of possession here, but again, I think if they put a little more pace on the ball, a little bit quicker movement, harder checked runs, there's a lot of space there in that right pocket. Could have had a check run, someone take it in, flick it on. That's kind of the only way you're going to get through this SAFC defense.
I was saying before, it feels like if they're playing to get a goal before halftime. The ultra-aggressive tactics in these closing minutes of the half.
Right, if they're going to do it, now is the time. Now that they have some momentum, some rhythm going, definitely looks like a very different team than what we saw at the beginning of the game, of course. So some wind in their sails, some hope there. Just that can be a game changer in itself.
Concede the throw here as Colin Martin playing in his 84th match with San Diego Loyal. So allow SAFC to continue to move up the pitch. Quickly over the top, and again Dillon headed back in the direction of Faree.
Fantastic defensive play there from Grant Stoneman. Diving header to keep it in possession, but loving the quick, tricky plays here from SAFC. They seem to be full of them tonight.
Adams and Martin working up that left touch line. Colin Martin directing. Switching the play, Stoneman, plenty of daylight in front of him. And now Nick Moon gets a try here on the right flank. Back delivery across, a ricochet back to Moon. Two watching him, aware of his 1v1 capabilities. That's a good cross into the box, carried away there by Jordan Farr. Our challenge from Dillon. Continue to play on the advantage. Collier. Up top, Bodily on the left side, into the box. Missed their runner, bit of miscommunication. Stoneman back to get it, Simba.
San Diego really looking dangerous here. SAFC is going to have to get possession and start trying to build something forward.
Switched out on the right side here. That's Conway, rather. Oh, well defended by Lamar Batista. Wins possession of the ball away. Conway and Batista with some words.
Marcina not happy about it either. Let's look back at this. Clean tackle all day long. Batista with those really long legs can be frustrating, but look at this hit after the fact, coming from behind a little bit too. Batista's not having it.
Stoneman volleys it. Joe Corona upended in the midfield there from Abu. I mentioned Joe Corona, 32-year-old, was born in Southern California, grew up in San Diego, Chula Vista. The first year as a member of his hometown club after almost 200 matches playing in Liga MX over the years.
It's a great league to be in, and lots of intensity there, lots of drama, it seems, always from Liga MX. Crowds are something else, next level stuff, even over MLS.
San Diego will earn the throw. See, it's 6 minutes out of time here at the end of the half with 3 goals, and then the send-off of Oluwaseyi in the 20th minute. Abu keeps it moving. We get a foul here on Stoneman and a yellow. And everybody is up in the face of the 4th official. Now Grant Stoneman given a yellow here.
Bench practically cleared. There's concrete in the table.
Yeah, I tell you one thing, it's interesting. You've got Stoneman going over and barking with the SAFC staff. This was the challenge from Stoneman. It sent Abu into the table below us. PC is trying to play peacemaker.
Yeah, I mean, that did not look good at all. I think it was a delayed kick, and Mohamed Abu had his momentum going, so it looked pretty bad as he flew into the side there, but it is not looking great as he's still down, and the drama is still at an all-time high. Minutes counting down. We're in extra time here already, but
there's going to be extra time.
Extra. Read all about it, because you're going to after this.
They're still not done jawing. Collier's got a hold of Joe Corona. As they continue to work on Abu, and a match that has featured simmering tension. It boiled over on that last challenge from Stoneman on Abu, sending him into the SAFC bench just in front of the scores table below us. Connor Maloney. We're now with the 4th official.
You can watch us back again here. As you can see, he's going in full throttle. There's a late kick. You could say, oh, he whipped it and missed it, but no, look at the look on his face. It seemed pretty intentional, and just the fact that ref tends to be handing out cards like nobody's business, I would be surprised if he didn't get one there in that call. Yep, yellow.
Second caution of the season on Stoneman, so Stoneman and Moon have gone into the books for San Diego, 2 for Oluwaseyi. Moves back to his feet. So here also into the books for SAFC in this first half. And now how much extra added time do we get on top of the 6 that's already been allotted here at the end of the first half?
One thing's good is that SAFC now has possession again. Give them a break there on defense for a bit if they can continue to maintain this here.
It's well done from Dylan Shen and Gomez. And the flag up once again. San Antonio FC.
Unfortunate there for them, but great defense. Just watching their lines, staying connected, and communicative. That's everything in these moments.
Conway. In trouble. Collier. Guido. And Joe Corona into the box. The turn there. And Guido didn't catch it cleanly. He got it off his right foot. That is really the first opportunity inside the box San Diego's had in this first half.
Right, easy collection there for Jordan Farr, but Guido, one of those players who's known to add a spark into the offense. It's understandable why he's kind of perched up a little bit higher at times, trying to support his strikers, and it's good work there from him. And if San Diego can continue to do stuff like that, maybe get a stronger foot on the end of it, they could at least kind of close the gap.
Guido hasn't scored this season, but he's got 13 with Loyal in his career. That post was Hernandez, and he turned it wide with the left. And we've got another injured SAFC player down. It's Rita Zuhir across the pitch as he gets back up to his feet. Zuhir, his second professional goal in as many matches. Came after the strike from Oluwaseyi in the 5th minute. 3-0 SAFC with the lead as we come up on halftime. Plenty to talk about at the half between Katie and myself.
Yes, lots to discuss. It's kind of on par with the telenovela at this point because they're keeping the drama at an all-time high.
A foul whistled here as Tainer called for the infraction. San Diego was trying to catch San Antonio napping, but they'll reset.
Ref not letting any kind of quick plays happen on either side, and Tainer lucky not to receive a card there. I mean, I wouldn't have given a card, but you know, you never know when the ref is starting to get card happy and try to control things. Definitely an unintentional foul, but foul nonetheless.
Relatively dangerous set piece for San Diego. Bodily over the ball here. Service to the back post. Batista will head it out. Real danger there. Simba creeping forward. A little push off. No whistle. Nick Moon turning on Shannon Gomez. Off the head of Connor Maloney. Simba steps up. Chance is blocked, and this guy's high in the air. And again, Simba takes it away from Jorge Hernandez. It'll be a throw for San Diego.
My goodness, Batista coming in clutch there. Headers all around. Was not expecting the low header there in that last bit, but however, whatever it takes to clear it.
Nick Moon. Simba. Switch the play. Stoneman. Adams. Heavy on the touch. Adams now driving forward. Adams into the box. It's one wide. That'll ride out. That should do it for the first half. And will indeed be the case. Plenty of fireworks at Toyota Field in the first 45 minutes of all sorts of variety. 3 goals for the home side. Rita Zuhir, Tani Oluwaseyi, Mitchell Tainer with the strikes. Oluwaseyi sent off in the 20th minute. 3-0 San Antonio FC with the lead. Halftime coming up on the other side here on Bally Sports.
What's good, SAFC family? Brian Colbert here, one of our newest additions, Ja'Cory Hayes. For those that don't know, last season started off kind of rough for you. You had a serious leg injury that you had to come back from. Talk to us about what the recovery was like and like what the perseverance is like going through such a serious injury. Like your leg is everything.
Yeah. It's even just off the field, just life. Like no walking around. It was a tough for a couple months. So I broke it in July 20th, and then surgery was July 21st. Yeah, it was a lot to go through. Big adjustment, but I had a lot of friends on the team and family that looked out for me and always checked in to keep my spirits high. But it was difficult, especially mentally. Coming back from an injury, trying to figure out what's next for me soccer-wise, and yeah, I'm just glad I landed here. Sometimes you take everything for granted in terms of like playing and being on the field, but as just being on the field now, it's like a true joy. Like I remember like just being so excited the first game, like, all right, I'm back on the field.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a lot to go through, but I'm happy I've overcome it.
Now, we're happy you're here as well, man. And you know, those type of injuries, it's a lot physically to go through, but it's a lot mentally to go through as well. That's a long time to sit out.
Yeah.
What did you learn about yourself during that time?
I had to learn that I'm more than a soccer player. I feel like I knew that before going in, but this really solidified, like, I gotta almost like separate your happiness from soccer. So it's like, if soccer's not going well, then I can't just be a sad person and like, you know, go through that. So it's finding other avenues for me to like find joy and being happy, and finding out who really is Ja'Cory Hayes, like, was a big thing. So it's like, I'm really happy with where I'm at.
All right, okay, so I gotta ask you then, in your own words, because the fans are getting to know you here.
Yeah.
Who is Ja'Cory Hayes?
You know, I think I'm a nice, pretty chill guy. I love to smile, I love to laugh. I really love movies, so I find a lot of joy in finding, you know, like the next hidden gem, or like the next, you know, what is out in theaters right now. I just love to be happy and smile.
Halftime at Toyota Field, 3-0 San Antonio FC with a lead over San Diego Loyal on this first Saturday night here in June. As we welcome you back upstairs to the broadcast booth with Katie Goodman, I'm Dan Weiss. Plenty of fireworks on and off the field, Katie, in that first half. 3 goals for SAFC, and then Oh, a lot of extra minutes. They got to find a way, though, to break through that SAFC back line.
Right, and part of it is just maintaining possession. They've had a couple of opportunities to break lines, and they just made silly turnovers, or they were caught off sides, and that's happened quite a bit, and you got to credit San Diego's defense for that. But I think more than anything, maintaining possession, winning those 50-50s, and for San Diego, switching the field a little bit quicker, a little bit snippier, and then you might get yourself a goal in the second half.
And they've got some pieces to work with as well on the bench that could play an impact in this second half. That's coming up. We'll take a break. We'll come back and take a look at the man who built SAFC over the years. Tim Holt, a tribute to him when we return on the other side.
It wasn't easy. It was hard. It started when I started playing professionally. That was the time that I really felt it and needed to get help. And it's okay to get help. I think we want to break the stigma around mental health, especially in professional sports, but also in life in general, just for anyone. So I think it's super important that we're doing this, and I think it's super important that we share our stories as well.
Fans, you can bid on your favorite players born an autograph mental health themed pregame talks now. To place your bid, download the official SAFC app or visit SanAntonioFC.com/BYOB. Proceeds from the auction will go towards Forum Community. Then Save for Spurs Kids is back. Our friends at Valiente and Harley Davidson will be donating $50 to Spurs Kids for every save made this season. Is Colonel Ed All, retired as Colonel after 39 years of service. Did tours in Vietnam, Desert Storm, and Iraqi freedom. San Antonio FC thanks you for your service. We also want to take a moment to honor all our military members here in attendance tonight.
San Antonio up 3.5 under the banners of championships that they've won, and so many stories of success here at Toyota Field going back to 2016 as we welcome you back upstairs to the broadcast booth. Dan and Katie with you, and all of that really starts with Tim Holt, the original managing director for San Antonio FC back in 2016. Tim announcing a couple of weeks ago that he is going to be moving on. In fact, on Monday will be his final day from San Antonio FC, but all of the pieces leading up to the first match in 2016, the name, the shield, and everything that goes into building a successful franchise really started with Tim Holt, somebody that probably doesn't get enough of the credit when we talk about the success of San Antonio FC and what they've become here over the years.
Right. I mean, what he has done for this city is next level. San Antonio truly is a soccer city. Yeah, we've got the Spurs, but we have some diehard soccer fans, and you can thank Tim Holt for that. You can also thank him for the academy. It has built up our youth. It has made a pathway for our youth to play pro. It's just such a huge deal and such a person that we're really going to miss.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the academy, because that really has been one of the fruits of San Antonio FC is the academy that they have built and the success that the academy has had at so many different levels, and where they will figure into being a part of the first team moving on. So thank you, Tim Holt, for all you have done and all you have meant to this organization. We wish you nothing but the best going forward. Second half coming up on the other side. San Antonio FC up 3 over San Diego. We return next year on Valley Sports. Antonio FC Soccer on Bally Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Go to buyattoyota.com or visit your local Toyota dealer today. Start of the second half at Toyota Field. 3-0 SAFC with the lead over San Diego Loyal. PC, the captain, returns to his familiar role on the pitch for the first time since mid-April in Louisville. PC appearing for the 5th time this season after dealing with a lower body injury that's kept him out for the last month and a half. He's missed 6 weeks worth of action, and he is back on the pitch to rejoin his mates. Great to have him back. On the other side, 4 substitutes, Katie, for San Diego. I'm not surprised. We mentioned Ronaldo Damas probably would be a substitute at the start of the second half, but so too is Tumimo Shaban, along with Adrian Perez and Camden Riley, all on to start the second half for San Diego Loyal.
And that's definitely going to switch things up a bit, catch SAFC off guard, but it's always nice to have a solid presence. That is PC, definitely a foundational piece for San Antonio back in the mix. You know they're going to be leaning on his leadership, those big moments. He's known for his big plays, stepping up and making things happen, and that's exactly what they need here as they're a man down.
PC coming on for Jorge Hernandez here in the second half. It's good to see Abu out there after taking the hard challenge from Stoneman at the end of the first half. So Camden Riley comes on for Simba. Stoneman is on, but again, watch out for Perez on the right side, along with Damas. That's where San Diego Loyal could do a lot of damage here. Moon lets it roll through. And Guido, the service into the box, and there's PC welcoming himself right back into the match immediately. Twice on the ball, directs it ahead.
It's a great dummy by San Diego. Great just mentality moving into the other half of the field, and that's exactly what you want to see, that kind of creativity. But PC making himself known.
A bad giveaway by Adrian Perez. We'll get it back as he settles. Colin Martin will switch, and again, they'll have plenty of room to work with SAFC playing a man down. Martin. Camden Riley, who can get forward. Here's Damas. First touch since coming on. Damas sneaks past on the far side, drives one in on Jordan Farr. Farr's there to make the save. So one touch for Ronaldo Damas, one shot, 16 goals in his 38-match USL Championship career.
We talked about this earlier in the game, his speed, getting in behind, and that's exactly what he did there. Good on Jordan Farr just to get on the end of it. But testing this SAFC defense truly, I think, for the first time is Ronaldo Damas, really giving him some serious pressure.
It's a handball on San Diego. Damas had 4 goals playing with Orange County back in the 2021 USL Championship playoffs, including 2 in the final in an upset win for Orange County on the road at Tampa Bay Rowdies. Last year playing in Sweden with Sundsvall, and then coming back with Joe Corona, who also played last year at Sundsvall in Sweden. Teammates again reunited here in San Diego. And now San Diego will have to defend this set piece, down 3 goals in the opening minutes of the second half. Zuhair over the ball. Here and Faree able to read that one well as it kind of curved its way towards him.
Nice collection from Faree, but you could tell Zuhair couldn't quite get the bend on it that he wanted. Great development here out of the back.
Moon, the fight off Zuhair. San Antonio FC, that's where they come with that relentless pressure, even playing a man down. And that's where San Diego, if they're going to get back, they're going to have to space out SAFC, as they failed to do so in that sequence. Dillon trying to turn Kyle Adams inside out. Adams able to win possession away over to Camden Riley. Back to Faree. Can quickly play over here. That's what, again, they want to do. They want to keep that ball moving and keep SAFC spread out, playing a man down here.
Right, keeping on pinging that ball, but wise on SAFC to move as a unit and adjust whenever the ball switches to the other side. That's something they're so good at. They're really not too worried about leaving that weak side open, and that's exactly why if San Diego can switch the ball a little bit faster, you can catch them on the counter.
Conway. Long back to Jordan Farr. PC began this season with San Antonio FC playing 60 career matches, 4 goals for the 29-year-old. He's added an assist in his first 4 matches this year. 60 matches with SAFC is 4th most among active players on the club. San Diego will take possession just to put a bow on the substitutes. Damas came on for Collier. Camden Riley out for Simba. Perez in for Bodley, and Moshaban in for Joe Corona. This is Adams. Conway, good step up there by Fabian Garcia. Wins the ball away from Guido. Adams will return to Farid.
Some solid pressure there from Zuhir, but you also want to be weary. You're a man down, and that's exactly what San Diego wants them to do, is to continue working with that high press, trying to spread the field there. And as long as San Diego's pinging the ball around, it's not so great there for SAFC. They're going to have to get that ball back, and they're going to have to maintain possession. A clearance just won't cut it.
Stoneman over to get it. Clipped across by Perez. Camden Riley save it from going beyond the touchline, running on Shannon Gomez. Top of the box and intended for Damas there, making the run and just beyond his reach. Shannon Gomez has just crossed 10,000 minutes in USL Championship. Came into tonight 51 minutes away, and as we move into the 53rd minute here, congratulations to Shannon. 10,000 minutes in USL Championship.
You know, I can't name one thing I've done for 10,000 minutes. maybe soccer back in Little League, right? 10,000 minutes of play there, but that's extremely impressive, and it just says so much about his ability to withstand injury and to push through and to be that consistent force. Players don't get those kind of minutes unless they're a consistent, supportive player there for the pitch.
Shannon's been such a warrior since joining San Antonio from Sacramento. Scored his first 2 goals of his pro career last season in his first year with SAFC.
Seems to be something about this pitch, huh?
Yeah, it does. Moshaban. Perez flips the ball in, looking for Conway, headed out. It's Riley here. Guido, top of the box, trying to return back to Camden Riley. SAFC unable to escape out of the back. Riley up top. Ball ends up at the feet of the aforementioned Gomez, with the footsteps of Damas coming. Gomez just quickly releases it forward.
The effort is good, but it's those little moments where, you know, you just got to maintain possession. Even if you just give them a good run for their money there on the sideline, maybe try to get the ball out of bounds.
Bad giveaway there again by Guido, who's pointing it. Moshaban, where he wanted that last run. And one slips past Conway. Jordan Farr just trying to keep San Diego honest. Whoa, whoa. Very, very, very close to a back pass.
I mean, that ball looked like it was outside of the box. That's what the bench is raising the Ichi double hockey sticks over at the moment, because that ball looked like it had crossed the plane.
Maloney heads that out.
Connor Maloney, man of steel. Solid clears there from him. Let's look back at this. So you can see the head back is good. Oh,
yeah,
he's all right.
He's good.
He's all right. Good work from the young keeper here. You know, you got to give him some credit, because it was a tough first half for anyone, even as someone who's a veteran in the league with tons of minutes. I mean, for a kid this young to bounce back and to just not sweat about it, I think that's it's respectable.
Second corner here for San Diego. 55 minutes in, 10 minutes gone in the second half. Much to show for the newcomers here so far on for Nate Miller's club. It's Gomez able to get rid of that one. Free well out off his line to play it. Almost as a fourth defender.
Again, clearance is understandable, but when possible, always want to try to maintain that possession or even clear it far outside, out of bounds.
They have just not been able to get through that back line. But if you're SAFC, you've got to possess the ball a little bit more as well too here. I understand trying to get rid of it and just pushing it out, but returning possession back, that's just going to keep you on your back heel.
Right, and you know, San Diego, their wingers, they're doing a great job of defending and making those clearances difficult, which is why you see more clearances towards the middle of the pitch. It's almost like they're closing off the outside sidelines so that it goes right back into possession if there's a clearance.
Perez will get another corner for San Diego. It'll be the third of the match. Connor Maloney directs that one out.
Fantastic work there from Maloney. Expect nothing less with him.
They go quick here. The service in. Fabian Garcia heads it out. Perez settles. Loose inside the box. Controlled by Abu. Making the turn. The ball belonged back to San Antonio.
It's a clean tackle there. Might have came a little smidge from behind, but seemed to be all ball.
San Antonio will go back to their bench here as Justin Dillon will come off, Nico Hansen on, and Ja'Cory Hayes will come on for Rita Zuhir in the 58th minute.
Great work both from Zuhir and from Dillon. Both seem to have run out of gas a little bit, and I think Hansen is exactly what SAFC needs up top. He's got that speed. He loves the vertical style. Again, one of those players who's just fallen right in suit with this SAFC lineup.
Dillon really set the tone for tonight as Zuhir comes off in place of Ja'Cory Hayes. But going back to Justin Dillon, it was really his vertical runs that SAFC was looking to test the high line of San Diego right from the opening kick of this match, trying to make them pay, and they were able to do so. Even if a couple of those runs ended up being offside for Justin Dillon, SAFC had a method to their madness from the start of tonight's match, and it paid off, and it paid off handsomely.
Complete and full agreement there with you, Dan. I mean, Dillon really put in the miles and the work on that one. You could see it on his face, left it all on the pitch.
Moon is errant with that ball. So Justin Dillon, still no goals, but again, does things that don't end up on the score sheet.
Right, sometimes it's not about the goal, it's about the opportunities that these players create, the presence they have. He's giant up there and great at receiving high up on that line, but all things considered, not a bad move there from coach, as clearance seemed to be tougher to come by, at least clean clearances up top.
San Diego was able to come back on their first match of this trip. They were down 2-1 in Miami. They were able to score twice to pull out the 3-2 win. The challenge is much more arduous here tonight, down 3 goals at Toyota Field. But again, playing a man down is a bit of a wild card thrown into that. That being said, it's got to come to a point where the dam has to break through if it's going to happen for San Diego. SAFC just has not allowed that final product to happen for the visitors tonight.
San Diego has created some really solid opportunities, I think, but again, they need a little bit quicker speed of play. They're doing a great job, as you see here, stretching the field. They're bringing it all the way back to the key. They're trying to create space. Not a bad idea when you've got the possession all in your hands, which is exactly what they have. But from here, at this point, how do they move forward a little bit quicker? SAFC, they have an engine that doesn't run out, right? So they're going to be swarming every player whenever they possibly can.
San Diego's going to rack up 500 passes by the time this night's done, and they're going to probably be sitting at about 85% on the passing accuracy, but they still may end up with nothing to show for it.
Yeah, and you got to credit SAFC's defense, and one thing they do so well is they don't just sit back and take it. They're also defending high up on the field despite being a man down, and I think that's a sign of a really quality team from top to bottom.
They got a half hour remaining with this 3-goal lead, which early on seemed like just, I mean, a well-oiled machine probably isn't good enough to describe it. They were just a buzzsaw coming out of the locker room tonight. That'll be a foul on Tainer.
Yeah, that red card was exactly what San Diego needed to stop the bleeding there in that situation. That and a little bit of downtime to recollect and recoup after all the fouls and drama from the fighting.
Adams, Stoneman, Damas, running on Shannon Gomez. Damas goes to the back post, and the runner was Perez, but he couldn't get to the end of it. Conway, or rather Maloney, lets it ride out. Quiet night tonight for Jordan Farr. Diego just 2 shots in this match. Just the one on target from Damas to start the second half, and that has been it. And for a club that came in with 18 goals, they're playing a man up for 3/4 of the match. A lot of credit to what SAFC's done up to this point.
Absolutely, defense on point, and you know,
Guido with the strike wide.
great strike there from him. Jordan Farr seems unfazed, quiet, as you'd mentioned, quiet but confident, not seeming to be too worried about the work his defense is able to put in for him there.
Well, they'll let Guido shoot from 30 yards out all night.
Yeah.
It's not going to bother them, but again, if it's going to happen for San Diego, if they're going to have any hope of trying to break through, then it's got to come within the next couple of minutes, because the frustration then will just further mount for a team playing a man up. Damas. And another giveaway by San Diego. Faree quickly back to his line. Hansen, top of the box. Hansen puts that one wide. Is it deflected? No.
It's wide, bit of a mishit, but great opportunity there from Hansen. And those are the things that we need to see there from San Antonio, just getting it to feet when possible. And of course, easier said than done in this situation. We've all been there if you're a soccer player. You know, I think that was evidenced by that quick turnover transition there. Just what is, you know, possible.
Martin, Camden Riley, Moshaban, Colin Martin play the advantage. Adams out wide. Nick Moon. Not a lot for him to do here on the flank tonight. Nice back touch. Perez drops down here. Moon top of the box, no. Moshaban gives it a go. Great save for Jordan Farr. Fantastic from the keeper.
Not so quiet anymore. Jordan Farr going really far out on that one to make that save. Look look at this quality, and man, laces down, driven ball. He gets there like a ninja in true Jordan Farr fashion.
And off the corner, comes away with it. That was well struck from Tumi Moshaban, the right guy to take it, searching for his 20th goal with San Diego Loyal, their all-time leading goal scorer.
You know, sometimes it's a big save that'll put the wind in your sails as well. So let's see what SAFC has to do with that. A little bit of energy.
Riley, the overlapping run here, along with Moshaban. Colin Martin in the middle. Guido, back to Riley, back to Martin. Moshaban, once again. This is where San Diego's got to be a little quicker on that switch. And they'll open up here for Adams now on the left side. Force SAFC to run in between the lines. Perez. Can't do that against the defender of the year, although it drops to Moon. And directed away from him from Fabian Garcia.
Great work there from Fabian. Nice composure coming out of the back. Unfortunate there.
Hansen. Cut. Hansen. Push through Adams.
Hansen giving him a bit of run for their money. I think if he could have got that shot off a little earlier, it would have been dangerous.
Foul against Damas from Batista. Reset for San Diego. And now Conway is onside here. Edge of the box defended by Garcia. The throw awarded to Loyal.
Nice clean tackle there from Shannon Gomez. Coming in with some heat there. Again, this San Antonio defense, they're like a brick wall, even a man down. They just don't give teams room to breathe. Ref not happy about it.
And again, I think this was more of Shannon Gomez. What I saw looked like he was telling Evan Conway, get up, let's go. And on a night where Oluwaseyi got sent off essentially for a little bit too much talking, it seemed to be in a similar position where we're trying to avoid more of that happening, which I know is so difficult at times.
Right, it can be when you're in the heat of the moment, but you know, when you've seen someone get a red card and sent off, I don't know about you, but I tend to keep my mouth shut after that. Don't want to be the next one in line. There's one thing playing 10 down, or a man down, it's another playing 2 men down.
Martin, back to Adams. Nick Moon. Adams over to Riley.
Now we've seen this a couple times. They're moving across the back line. They're moving from side to side of the field, doing a great job using the width here, but where they have trouble, they stagnate once they get to the sideline. I think what would help them is if their strikers were to switch up their runs, try to pull center backs out, have some rotation in those runs, but they're pretty stagnant.
Zaramel to the back post. From Colin Martin. And it was a better idea, I thought, from Kyle Adams in that instance, because he drove the middle rather than, to your point, drifting to the side, and then was able to free it up for Martin to get a little bit more opportunity from the edge of the box.
Right, good job changing things up there, trying to go back side a bit and through the middle, but it also would be great to have strikers checking back to their center backs, flicking the ball on. There's a lot of different combinations you can come up with in those moments.
Tainer will direct out. And what for a while seemed like a world of time doesn't really feel like a world of time so much anymore. It's just a shade over 20 minutes remaining.
San Antonio doing a great job to kind of at least control things when it does get into their half of the field. But again, if they're not creating opportunities, chances are higher for goals against.
Moon dancing on Connor Maloney. And tripped up at the edge of the box there from Tainer, who I think will end up in the books here with a yellow. A couple of fouls tonight against Mitch. And Tainer goes in the 70th minute. His third caution of the season. Dangerous set piece right at the edge of the 18-yard box here for San Diego.
Watch it back here. Good call there from the ref. A bit of a stretch. Not much ball involved, so again, good call there. Lucky was outside the box.
Guido and Moshaban for the ball here. San Antonio directing inside the box. Keep an eye on where Damas ends up in the middle of all of this too. Guido, and tapped over the bar there by Jordan Farr.
Ooh, what a ball in. Jordan Farr, I think, has kept San Antonio in it more times than we can count. Not in this game, but just throughout the season. Look at that, to get a hand on it with the pace that that ball had, extremely impressive.
Fifth corner of the evening for Loyal. And that's headed in and pinned off the line by Jordan Farr. Phenomenal. They're calling for a handball on PC, but not awarded by the referee. As far was it Fabian Garcia who saved this ball off the line. Let's take another look.
We have got to see that back, because if that was far, that is a save the way it could have been either, really and truly.
Fabian Garcia there with the head.
Always impressed by his reaction time.
Martin can't break through Shannon Gomez, back to Duran Ferry. Moshaban. Guido, back to Moshaban, step in the box. Moshaban, away there by Tainer. Connor Maloney keeps it in play. Perez, edge of the box, back to Guido. Turn there on Hayes, service in, looking for Donis. And Shannon Gomez plays it away from Nick Moon. Conway, it's blocked. Kyle Adams. Moshaban. And a quick switch here from San Diego. Stoneman. Martin into the box, headed away by Garcia. Drops down for Guido, fans. Ja'Cory Hayes. Connor Maloney will clear.
You've got to hand it to this SAFC defense. Coach Marcina knew going into this they would have to win their individual battles, but this is a next level moment for them. Every single player on that pitch giving their best quality in the biggest moments.
Perez looking back post. Shoots it over Damas, and the clearance yet again. Riley back to track it. Duran Ferry has become as much part of the buildup in this second half. Likely seen from any keeper in some time at Toyota Field.
I think that's the exact strategy that Coach Miller wants going into this. You know, it's when you have Ferry there helping out in the attack. It's two players up rather than one. At least it feels like that.
Conway for Guido, bit of a heavy touch, able to recover. Moshaban, the service, and headed away again by Fabian Garcia. Adams volleys it back to Moshaban. Stoneman. Martin and Camden Riley. Gomez defending. Riley. That's the slip. Service again to the back post, and Moshaban keeps it in play. It's Connor Maloney who comes away with it. Drives it forward, will send Adams back to get it.
Great work there from Maloney. You could see the intention, trying to get that to the feet of Hansen, but it's tough when you're defending for the entirety of the game, trying to get up and create something with it when there's not much people up top.
Conway, Mo Shaban again. Martin. Quarter hour remaining. Stoneman. Damas gives it a go, puts it in. That's brilliant from Ronaldo Damas. And we told you he'd have an impact in this match. And from distance, Damas gets San Diego on the board.
You cannot negate that quality. Look at this intensity. He's a player who you thought would come in, break lines, make vertical runs, but no, he can do it from outside the box with power, opposite 90. Not even a guy like Jordan Farr can get on the end of it. And, you know, San Diego, they're bringing that intensity. It was only a matter of time, really starting to test Jordan Farr here in these last few minutes, and still plenty of time to get another or even a possible equalizer if SAFC cannot maintain possession and get it on the other side of the field.
It's Damas's third of the season and his 17th goal, Katie, in 39 matches in USL Championship, not including the playoffs, where he had 4 more.
And it's such an impressive goal, too. I mean, I don't think anyone could have got on the end of that goal from distance, through traffic, opposite 90, all the pace. That was a tough one.
So San Antonio FC finally concedes after being literally perfect for 3/4 of this match. They couldn't have played it any better or man down. Really couldn't have.
Right. I mean, they're winning all of their individual battles, and in that case, he was open, and that's what happens when you're a man down. Sometimes a guy gets open. You can't cover the entirety of the field. Just one of those guys you don't want to leave open.
Moon, again, trying to search out Damas, this time headed away. Riley brings it down and drives it wide and along back to Jordan Farr, so they've crawled back to within 2. They've got just under a quarter hour remaining. San Antonio FC will just try to catch their breath here momentarily. Still in a very fortuitous position, up 2 goals with 15 minutes remaining. A foul on Nico Hansen in that instance.
Not sure if I would call that a foul, just a little bit of a jump over. Back in play nonetheless.
Colin Martin quickly into the final third, joined by Nick Moon. Moon in trouble and concedes. Alan Marcina, as much as we've talked about Damas, the guy he really had focused on in training is here's Riley up top. And a phenomenal save from Jordan Farr. Outstretched arms, parries that one aside.
Jordan Farr, I mean, I know San Antonio has 3 goals, but the highlight of this match, I think, are these huge saves from Jordan Farr, just keeping his team in it. You know, anybody else, they might be, they might have equalized by now.
And that one served up, drops down. Stoneman can't search it out, and finally it's directed out by San Antonio. Will be another corner. Before Farr said, what I was going to say is that, you know, the guy that Alan Marcina really focused on was Nick Moon, being a guy who on the outside could win the 1-against-1 duels or battles, and SAFC has not given that space to Moon tonight. That's been an area of focus for them, and successfully at that. Here's Guido to the back post. Head in, and that's number 2 for San Diego. It's Conway. He puts it in, and it's a 3-2 game with just over 10 minutes remaining.
Well, You know, that is so bittersweet here for San Antonio, having done such a great job, but what a finish there from Conway. Another one of those guys Marcina had his eye on, one of the leading scorers against SAFC. Let's take a look at it here. Just gets on the end of it perfectly, just out of reach and far.
So, San Diego has given us a match here in the final 10 minutes. Evan Conway with his 5th of the season, matching Tenny Oluwaseyi, who got his 5th goal of the season all the way back in the 3rd minute of this match.
You can see the energy, the tempo, struggling there for San Antonio. A quick turnover early on after that kickoff, and those things just can't happen. Might be a moment for a super sub there from Marcina, someone just to add a spark in these last final minutes, someone with a little more gas in the tank.
And San Diego has scored quickly, twice, 2 goals in 4 minutes time. And they've pulled themselves off the deck into within a single goal. Guido. Perez. Perez gives it a go and shoots that one wide. A return to Jordan Farr.
You know, you say 10 minutes to go, but you know there's going to be a little bit of extra time too. And I'd say anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes could be more than enough time to equalize this match.
I don't think, at least at the pace we're going at right now, there's not going to be much in the way of added time here in the second half. There has not been really any stoppage for injury. Most of the subs were done at halftime. One stretch of substitutes for SAFC in the middle part of this second half, but beyond that, I mean, it's been pretty clean soccer here in the second half, but it's the second half that's belonged to the visitors. Clawing back, getting 2 and 4 minutes to make it a 1-goal match. Damas getting the scoring started in the 75th minute, and Conway finishing off the header 4 minutes later.
You know, I do hate to guess extra time because I'm notoriously wrong on the extra time, but they still have plenty of time nonetheless.
SAFC could enjoy a little bit of possession here. A bit more aggressive from San Antonio. Although it's Camden Riley with plenty of daylight. PC looking to hustle back. Riley with a low ball that doesn't get through, lands at the feet of Martin. Searching out Damas. Damas, edge of the boxes, to watch him. Oh, Damas, that's just brilliant. As he slips his way past 2 defenders and will earn a corner.
Ooh, when they talk about keeping your focus on him, they weren't lying, because he's got not only got quick feet, but skill level. That ball is glued to his foot. When he breaks through, he's so dangerous.
San Diego's been playing a lot of short corners here in the second half. And Farr able to reach up and grab that one. Just trying to keep the visitors at bay here.
Great hands from Farr, nice sticky gloves getting up and holding on to it. Some keepers will punch that one out, and then it's chaos all over again.
Thomas there. And a free kick awarded to San Antonio. These last 7 minutes are going to feel like an eternity for Alan Marcina. Stoneman. Riley. Alan Martin joining in the middle. Riley upfield. Nick Moon looking to turn.
Moon with the quick feet. Good work there, getting out of pressure.
Moshaban. Run off the ball by PC. Nico Hansen flanked out. PC Sends it across in the direction there of Ja'Cory Hayes.
Hayes taking his time in the corner. Not much he can do here. Looking for some support.
Good job, able to dribble out of the tackles, and there's a Connor Maloney. That forces a clearance from Kyle Adams, and out San Antonio. Get a little possession here at the end. Hayes splits through. Ja'Cory Hayes, wonderful. 3 collapse on him, takes it back into the corner.
Great work from Hayes. This is exactly what you want to do if you're in San Antonio's position.
Now SAFC has got to get numbers back behind the ball here with Colin Martin fending off Mohamed Abu, and Abu will finally be whistled for the foul to go into the books here. And they're going to bring that one back. Abu, I think, is going to be shown yellow. He is in the 85th minute. Second time this season, Abu shown yellow.
Wise foul on his part. If he hadn't fouled there, it would have been a clean breakaway.
Miller trying to encourage his troops as they have a quick water break on the side. Nick Moon has done a lot of work tonight. Adams, they have an equalizer in them. Perez, well played by Fabian Garcia. Alderone back to Jordan Farr.
Per usual, things getting pretty chippy here in the final minutes. But again, we've seen it happen. You don't want to mouth off too much here, especially final minutes to go.
San Antonio had 6 shots in the first half. San Diego had just 2. In the second half, 9-1 the shots in favor of San Diego Loyal, rather. And Adams wins the aerial duel there away from Nico Hansen. You're right, Katie. I mean, it's 3-2, but I mean, that doesn't even begin to talk about some of the saves Jordan Farr's made in the second half.
Incredible. Just really keeping his team in it. And next level stuff, really and truly.
Run from Mo Shaban won't result in a successful connection. Jordan Farr will pick it up. Maybe one more sub here for San Diego.
I think this is going to be a match to remember for SAFC. You talk about mentality monsters. It's these moments where that mindset really shines through.
Oh, that's well done for Nico Hansen. And he's going to earn SAFC a corner with his efforts.
What a great fight there for Nico. Possible final chance for San Antonio. Have to make something happen here. So it looks like they're not eager to get a ton of bodies in the box either.
Looks like the subs are going to come on before we get to this point. Sam Adeniran, who missed last Saturday with injury, available tonight, will come on for a couple of minutes here at the end. And Tulu, who was acquired a week and a half ago from Hartford and got into last Saturday's match at the end against New Mexico, will make another appearance. Coming on here for New Mexico, this is Morgan Hackworth. Hackworth on for Stoneman.
Always gutsy to sub out a center back at any time.
Tulu's going to come on for Abu. And Adeniran will, looks like he's coming on for Nico Hansen, I think. He is. Was off.
I was going to say, Adeniran has quite a bit of firepower, responsible for most of the goals in the playoffs. Last year, got his team to the finals and won the final with his help. Surprised not to see more minutes from him, but this is a good opportunity to maybe put the nail in the coffin or just show up with a bit of energy and spark.
So, well, that took a few minutes to get through that as we're encroaching on the 90. So, I'm going to put 6 minutes out there. That's my take. A fair added time here in the second half. 6 minutes. See what we get.
Well, I'm going to go with what you say because you seem to be pretty close every time. Every minute matters.
In the corner for San Antonio FC again with nobody in the box. This is what they would call, I guess, a prevent corner. 5 minutes added time here in the second half. Again, wasn't really much in the second half that would have allotted for certainly substantial added time, really, until we got to those substitutes just a moment ago. 2 goals for San Diego, 5 minutes added time. Moon over Maloney, back from Perez. Perez. Who's that off of? He's off of Tainer. It's a corner to San Diego.
Solid step there from Mitch Tainer. Again, if there's SAFC jerseys in the mix, if they're anywhere near the ball, they can typically shut it down. The issue are the guys who get free at the top of the 18.
Pointing the ball to be actually in the circle here on the corner. It's their 9th corner of the evening. Now, they're directing away. They're directing Corey Hayes away. Hayes and Moshaban continue to jaw at one another. Now Moshaban for Guido. Up top, Colin Martinet. A little back touch over around PC. Martinet looking to Damas's direction and well defended there by SAFC.
Good work to get that one cleared. Could have been pretty bad there for San Antonio.
Again, it's Guido. Moshaban, a step. Moshaban, oh, dances in the box. Ball got deflected and cleared by Tainer, but not out of danger just yet. Colin Martin gives it a go and knocked aside by Tulu.
Great work there from Tulu. Quite a big, tall guy, huge presence there.
One is shot wide of frame. Take us to the halfway mark of stoppage time. Conway misfiring on that chance. For 2.5 minutes or so for Alan Marcina's club.
One thing I can't ignore is the energy, the creativity, the quality that Damas has brought to the pitch since he stepped on. I mean, it seems like a very different team with him in the mix.
And after not scoring last Saturday night in Oakland, Nate Miller going back with virtually the same 11 tonight to start the match. And obviously when things change in terms of personnel and players available, yeah, it looks more favorable, but to your point, they look much more dangerous. Damas and Perez and Moshaban out there.
Just more creativity getting to the center of the pitch, the top of the 18, and then the quality outside the box is next level stuff.
One's headed and just wide this time. Their opportunity inside the box there for for Evan Conway.
Conway, one of those guys who's done so well out of the air, which is not an easy job against the likes of Fabian Garcia, Mitch Tainer there in that center back role. Two tall guys. Also Batista, he comes in, measured up just as much and has the ups to get on the end of it.
Into the final minute of the minimum 5. One more trip up the field for San Diego as they build out. Furry, Hackworth with speed, quickly going into the final third to Damas. Hackworth directed out by Abu. Corner number 10 for San Diego. Oshaban. Play it quickly over to Hackworth. Hackworth, service into the box, headed it's in! Damas has leveled at 3! At the death, Ronaldo Damas, his second of the match, and San Diego has climbed off the pitch and pulled out perhaps an improbable point tonight in San Antonio.
Jaw on the ground, Dan. I mean, let's take a look back at this. First off, great service in, but to get on the end of it there from Damas, again, one of those guys, he was the game changer. Marcina knew going into this he would be the game changer, and there just completely redirected. Nothing a keeper can do in that situation. You can't take your eye off him for a single moment, because moments like that happen, and it's not what this looked like at the beginning of the match, the first 20, 30 minutes, so gotta hand it to San Diego for turning things around.
And another confrontation in front of the bench, and a yellow to Nick Moon. And I think that's a second yellow. It is a red. Moon's been sent off here at the end.
Fortunately for San Antonio, not sent off soon enough.
Boy, there will be a lot to chew on from this match tonight for the pundits across USL.
Quite the character building game, I think, for both sides.
Nate Miller, his club, down 3 goals and able to level, but the San Antonio, do they have one last trick up their sleeves? PC. Furry will camp under it. Well, he's not even, he doesn't want to settle for just the one, but he will. And this match finishes 3-3 improbably here tonight at Toyota Field. 3 goals in the first half for San Antonio, countered by 3 in the second half for San Diego.
San Diego doing a great job there of bouncing back. Yeah, SAFC is down a guy, but they were relentless. They brought in quality, and young keeper coming in huge, stepping in, trying to fill some big shoes, and really got a hold of things there in the second half.
This 3-match homestand will wind down next Saturday night right back here at Toyota Field. San Antonio FC will welcome El Paso Locomotive in a Copa Tejas showdown. We'll have all the action for you 8 o'clock right here on Valley Sports. Tonight, though, boy, a lot of fireworks on and off the field. 3 goals for San Antonio FC in the first half, 3 in the second half. Thomas with the brace and the goal of the death to preserve a point for the visitors. Katie Goodman, our entire crowd, Dan Weiss saying so long. This has been a presentation of USL Championship and Spurs Sports and Entertainment. Have a great night, everyone.